All right, so today we're going to look at spheres, or I should say right now. Again, you got to kind of skip the pyramids to get the spheres like I mentioned. Spheres are probably the easiest out of all of them because all you need is radius. Okay, so it makes it a little bit easier for us to work with. Now, spheres are when all points in space are equidistant from a center. Okay, so essentially you can think of a lot of your sports balls like a soccer ball, a basketball, a golf ball. Okay, all those type of ones, you kind of have that round shape to it. That's considered a sphere, a globe, okay, something like that. So this one's going to be the easiest because, again, all we need is radius. So to find the surface area of a sphere, you'll notice there's no lateral area surface area because there's no base. Okay, so they all just fall under the category of area or surface area. Okay, it's just going to be 4 pi r squared. Okay, and then for volume, it's going to be 4/3 pi r cubed. Really important you realize that one's cubed because we really haven't worked with that much at all. But both of them just require radius, which is why it makes them so easy for us to be able to work with because that's the only piece we need. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump into the examples then here with these. You don't really need pictures. If you're given one, that's fine, but it's just not necessary when all you have is radius. Okay, so for the first one, again, 4 pi r squared. Okay, you'll notice in that first picture you have a radius of 6. Okay, so 6 squared is going to give me 36. Okay, so if you multiply the 4 and the 36 together, you'll get 144 pi. And that's all there is to it. Okay, again, these ones are pretty easy to work with. Okay, for volume, it's 4/3 pi r squared, or cubed, excuse me. See, it's very easy to do. Okay, so on this one, we want to take and we want to cube the 6. Okay, so again, if you go under the math key, there is a cubed there for you in the calculator. Okay, if you cube 6, you get 216. Okay, you can go ahead and multiply that, put that in the calculator, take 4/3 times your 216, and you'll end up with 288 pi. Okay, for that one. All right. Do one more here, but like I said, it's fairly self-explanatory for these ones. So this one gives us a diameter of 22, which of course will mean our radius is 11. Okay, so for surface area, it would be 4 pi times radius squared. 11 squared is 121. And multiply that, and you'll end up with 484. For volume, 4/3 pi times, this time we want to cube the 11. When you cube 11, you get 1331. Take 4/3 times that. You'll notice this time it does not come out nicely for us. It's a repeating decimal, which means we want to change it back into a fraction. Okay, so you should end up with 5,324 over 3, and then attach the pi to it. Okay, but that's kind of all there is for spheres. Okay, next we're going to look at hemisphere, which is just half of a sphere. Okay, so sometimes we have to deal with these as well. Okay, so for surface area and volume of a hemisphere this time. Okay, for surface area, a lot of you probably think, well, don't I just take 2 pi r squared because the other one was 4 pi r squared. That would work, except then you wouldn't be counting for the part that you sliced off. Okay, if you think about it, when you slice it, okay, there's this top circle that's surface area as well that you need to account for. If you just do the 2 pi, you're not accounting for that. Okay, so what it actually ends up being is 3 pi r squared. Okay, so you have an extra 3 that counts for that circle on the top. Okay, but as far as volume, that one we really do cut in half. Half of 4/3 is 2/3. Okay, so we would just take 2/3 then because it will hold half as much as the big one. Okay, so we just have one example with those then with example 2. Okay, so it says find the surface area and volume of the hemisphere. You'll notice they give you a radius of 6. Okay, so for surface area, it would be our 3 pi, 6 squared would give us 36. Okay, 3 times 36 would give you 108. Okay, this one we'd want 6 cubed. 6 cubed is 216. Okay, if you multiply 2/3 times 216, you'll get 144 pi. Okay, so again, just basically, since you guys get to use those formulas, just make sure you're using the correct one, whether it's sphere or hemisphere, but hopefully they are pretty easy for you to work with. All right, have a good day.